Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. Karol Rosa versus Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont is 32 years old, 4 years older than Karol Rosa. Norma is also 2 inches taller despite giving up a half inch of reach. Norma's got a record of 8 and 2, 0 TKO victories, even though she's got good striking and good grappling, where TKOs can just as easily come from. She's got 2 submission victories and 6 decision victories. Beaten some very good fighters, though, some of which in the UFC. Felicia Spencer, Aspen Ladd, Danielle Wolf, Ashley Evans Smith, Mariana Moraes. She has some good victories. Her 2 losses come one by TKO, one by decision, both in the UFC. Macy Chiasson beat her. Macy Chiasson, when she's firing on all cylinders, she's a big fucking problem. Really strong girl there. And Megan Anderson beat her by knockout. Those are 2 girls that can win the physicality battle against Norma Dumont, which I don't think too many girls can. But Megan Anderson, that was her in her prime. I know it wasn't that long ago, but certainly after the Amanda Nunes fight and the subsequent retirement, it seems like maybe her last good performance. But that was a very tough matchup, tough debut. And then Macy Chiasson, again, overwhelmed her, got the better of her with physicality. Still a close fight, though. Karol Rosa, she's got a record of 16 and 4, 4 TKO victories, 2 submissions, 10 decisions, and her 4 losses come 2 via submission, 2 via decision. She lost via decision to Sarah McMahon in her last fight, who is still a dangerous wrestler. I mean, a former Olympian, former whatever she is, silver medalist. Sarah McMahon's an awesome wrestler, even though she's 41 or whatever she was, 40 years old when she beat Karol Rosa. And that's one of the few girls that will have such a distinct advantage in the wrestling department. She also lost to Giselle Moreira by decision, who's a capable fighter out there in the regional scene, but she avenged that loss with a 3rd round TKO, which is on YouTube. And her 2 submission losses come to Larissa Pacheco and Melissa Gatto. Larissa Pacheco, if you don't follow the PFL, she's flying on all cylinders right now. She just got the better of Kayla Harrison, beat her in a 5-round decision, handing her her first loss, which is such an incredible win, especially after having lost to her twice. Whatever, I'm not here to talk about her. My point is she's a very good fucking fighter. Got her out of there with a 2nd-round guillotine. Again, a very sloppy fight, but they were both younger and inexperienced. And then her other loss came to Melissa Gatto, who got her with a Kimura from the guard. There's some awful footage of it on YouTube, but it was from the guard, and Melissa Gatto is uniquely dangerous there. I don't want to say she's the Paul Craig of the division or whatever, but if somebody was, it might be her. And Karol Rosa, she's got plenty of big wins throughout her career. Jocelyn Edwards, Vanessa Mello, Betchka Hayda, Laura Procopio, now Laura Fritzon. Tamira Vidal came to the UFC. One of her only losses is a sub to Karol Rosa, 3rd round Kimura. Karol Rosa is a very good fighter. She also beat Mariana Moraes, by the way, who Norma Dumont beat. But I think Karol Rosa, despite giving up 2 inches of height, I expect her to be the better technical fighter on the feet against Norma Dumont. I do think Norma can win the physicality battle. Norma's probably the more natural featherweight. By the way, this fight is at featherweight. But Norma Dumont, I do think, would win the physicality battle. She's a big, strong girl, and we've seen her, again, only get bullied by bigger bullies. But typically, she's a tough girl to outpoint, let alone dominate. That win over Felicia Spencer is still probably her best win on paper. Felicia Spencer was an incredible fight, one of the best fighters of her day, even though she was only here for 9 fights or whatever in the UFC. She was definitely a very good fighter. Norma Dumont got an eye-opening victory over her. And then since then, she took out Danielle Wolf, Aspen Ladd. Norma's beaten some very good girls. Of course, Danielle Wolf is largely inexperienced, and she's a striker, but Norma Dumont did what she needed to do there. I was actually a little disappointed she didn't get the submission finish in that one, but either way, she thoroughly dominated. And here in this fight, I do think she can dominate Karol Rosa if she's able to wrangle her and get her to the ground, but I'm trusting Karol Rosa. Karol Rosa, I think, She can be crowded and whatever, but she's probably going to be faster than Norma Dumont. I think her footwork and her kicking game generally will get the better of Norma. And Norma, she doesn't like to lose a stand-up battle. She'll go toe-to-toe with anybody, and generally she gets the better of those fights. But in this one, I think she's going to be up against somebody that's superior to her, and she's going to have a hard time cornering and wrangling Karol Rosa and ripping her to the mat. She's not Sarah McMahon. So I predict it'll be a close fight, but I'm saying Karol Rosa is going to get the better of her, taking at least 2 rounds with a more diverse striking game. Karol Rosa by decision is my pick, and it's also the one sprinkle I threw on this fight. Plus 175 for Karol Rosa by decision. Like, share, subscribe, all that horseshit. Check out my other videos.